Hello and welcome to your weekly wisdom for April 25th through May 1st from me, Kim at Expressions of the Universe. And before I talk about what I want to talk about, we're doing a pick your own today. And I'm going to put your choices up. I picked a couple of different piles. You'll choose from 1, 2, or 3. And let me put this up here for you. All right, so go ahead and you can pick between pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Now, Pluto has gone retrograde today, April 25th, and it will stay in retrograde motion until October 4th. Yes, that seems like a long time. It really doesn't have a huge effect because it is such an outer planet, but I am going to talk about that. Also, too, to remind you that we are in the shadow of Venus retrograde. Now, I hope you went ahead and picked your card. I do have a photo. I don't know if you're seeing all of that. Let's see. You're probably seeing this too. Come on. No. Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen so that you can see the retrograde dates. And this doesn't want to open because I have so many things going on. I'm processing a video from our art class from earlier today. Come on. It doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. I almost had it. Oh, it's a little blurry. It's really blurry. You can't see. I can't really even see. But yeah, can't see the dates. I apologize. Let's get rid of that crap. We will go back to that. All right, so I hope that you could see this. I hope you picked a pile. Before I get into all the planetary stuff, let's get started. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, let's see what I have for you. Okay, interesting. As fork in the road comes up. Well, you know what? Before I do that, I want to start with the planetary cards. So I have planet and house. So the house that is highlighted for those that chose pile number 1, it's the 5th house. And pardon my nails, I've been out in the garden most of the day, digging, planting. So the 5th house, what is this talking about? It's where you have fun, it's where you have romance, and you create things and you are proud of. And I was torn between pile 1 and pile 3. I didn't even look at the cards yet. You can pick multiple piles if you like. So the 5th house is highlighted. This is ruled by Leo, and it's time for you. It's also about children. So it's time for you to have fun and get creative. And I love that. Now, you are getting the Pluto card. Big changes ahead. Big changes are coming. Things are ending. And that keeps happening. So, and I did want this pile. So I did get very creative today in the online art class, which I also have posted here on YouTube and Facebook. So be sure to check those out. But the Pluto card, it talks about a death and a rebirth. It's like the phoenix coming out of the ashes, as you can see in this The phoenix coming out of the ashes. It's your ability to transform and take a big leap forward towards a rebirth. So I'm feeling as though through your creative endeavors, you will be having a lot of change. Now, the crystal card that's coming up, it is kyanite, and it's about inner bridges. This is about building connections, but also building connections within yourself and outside of yourself. The animal totem, oh, I love this. Oh, I can't seem to grab this. My hands are clean, so don't worry about me putting them in my mouth. I did just wash them, as a matter of fact. Snake animal totem is coming up. This is about shedding your old skin, shedding who you used to be. That is also indicative of this Pluto card. And it says it's also a time to heal. Now, the tarot card, I love this. It's the sun. So things are really going to pick up. Things are going to turn around. Fork in the road would indicate to me that a decision has to be made. You're going to have to go one way or the other. You have to either pick door number 1 or door number 2, take the left path or the right path. A decision will definitely have to be made. And if you do, it will lead to positive movement forward. So all good cards. Big changes, transformation, new things are happening, your creative juices are flowing, you're making connections between here and there. I just think it's all good. I loved pile number 1. Okay, so if you chose pile number 2, let me lay these out. Oh, interesting. So just so you know, that's really, really weird. And you're gonna see why in a minute. Really weird. So for those of you that follow me, you may or may not know, because I announced this a couple videos ago. These cards, the Black Moon astrology cards, it's planets, houses, and signs. My puppy ate the 12th house card, and I love these cards so much. I've been using them for months now. They're working really great with my astrology. So I wound up reordering this deck on Amazon, which you can purchase through my shop at expressionsoftheuniverse.com. It's a recommended deck. And I thought, let me combine the 2 decks together, even though I was only buying it for 1 card. And here's what I'm going to show you is weird. Look what 2 cards came out for pile number 2. And I shuffled these really well. So it's the 5th house and it's the Pluto card. So pile number 1 and pile number 2, same cards. And I feel like I have a feather in my nose. So once again, if you listen to number 1, it's about creativity, it's about romance, children, but I always say that it's like the fire is being lit within you. Big changes are coming also too for pile number 2. Endings, transformations. I can't even make this up. It's so crazy, right? Your animal totem is the peacock, and it's saying, let it shine. So it's time for you to strut your stuff, get out there, put your best foot forward, dress yourself up. Well, obviously we're not going out now as I'm recording this, but you can spruce yourself up, especially if you're going online. You may have to pin your bangs back like I'm doing because they're all the way down to my chin and I can't see, awaiting a haircut. So, but yeah, this is about maybe like giving yourself a whole entire makeover while you are inside. Now this is great because this will also go with the 5th house card, and it is spontaneity and it's calcite. This is more fire energy that is coming through for you. And this is saying be spontaneous, you know, like change it up a little bit. Stop doing the same thing over and over and over again. We have a really great opportunity right now to totally reinvent ourselves and reinvent our lives. Take advantage of it. The tarot card is strength, and this is asking you to hold on a little longer. Everything is going to work out. Trust me. If you are in a fear mode, you may want to check out the abstract art video because it will relieve stress and anxiety. And this is also telling me that you are stronger than you even realize. All right. So the next card that's coming up, it's building blocks. And this is telling me that you are starting to build the foundation for a new existence, for a new life. You're laying the groundwork now for a new business or, you know, something brand new. Pretty much the rug has been swept out from under us, a lot of us. And so start fresh, build new. What do you want to do? You going to go back to that old existence, or are you going to maybe try something different and exciting, something that you've really wanted to do? And interestingly enough, different deck, it says power, but it also is the strength card in this particular deck. So twice this card has come up. Now, this is saying, stop giving your power away. You are the one that has the power. You need to remember that. And you got that double strength card. So see the lion symbolism? That's what that is. And I'm also hearing beware of two-faced people. All right, so that's your reading, and I love that. And now pile number 3. Ha, ha, ha. All right, let me put these in the order that I want them to be in. Okay. Okay. All right, so your house, it's the 3rd house, and this is about communications. This is symbolized by the sign Gemini because we Geminis love to talk and we're thinking all the time. This is also about the devices that you use to communicate with. It's travel, but short trips like in a car or even walking. This is saying you could get out and do some walking. This also involves siblings and like the next generation, like so your first cousins or your nieces and nephews, like those types, that one-off. Your potential to learn something. So this is also going back to school and learning something brand new, and it's not really like going to college. It's learning something on a basic level before you go to the next big thing. So interesting that I did choose this pile because I'm looking to sign up for weekly art classes because I love art and I've been doing art for a long time, but I haven't been giving myself enough time. So I'm going to take a weekly class. So I'm blocking time out to spend doing some artwork. But this is also talking about, you know, telecommunications. It's about, you know, like even reading to learn, expanding your mind and your knowledge in some sort of way. Now, your planet is Neptune. And this is like a dreamy like state. There is an indication of forgiveness here. There's an indication of yearnings and longings. It's deep emotions. the emotions that lie deep down below the surface, the emotions that are swimming around within you that you are not releasing in some sort of way. And whenever I see Neptune, I think about our dreamlike state. So I want to say, pay attention to your dreams. Also, don't live in a state of illusion or delusion. It's time to get real. And this is a big connection between the mind of reality, which would be that third house, and then dreamlike fantasy, which would be Neptune. So very Piscean energy. But that could be beautiful. And also Neptune is about art, now that I'm thinking about it, because when I think of Pisces, I do think about that flowing artistic through the emotions. So, all right, now your animal totem, and interesting, is antelope spirit. Now, as soon as I see an antelope, and I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read what this says, but I think of swift movement forward. Think about how quickly an antelope can run. And even in this photo, it looks as though, it appears as though this antelope is leaping through the air. So it says life is speeding up. So I think once you tap into this, expanding your mind, allowing yourself to dream bigger, live your dreams, life will start to speed up. And for me, I'm hearing, giving myself time and permission to delve into more artistic things will actually enhance my life. So through that art class that I also have posted on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, you learn how to be extremely present in the moment, because you're focusing on like the intricate details, and it's abstract art. It's so super easy. You need no experience whatsoever. But I learned these techniques that I could sit, and if I'm stressed out, I could just like color in like little blocks, and it puts your focus away from what's going on up here. So I think when we clear our minds, all of us, our lives speed up. Also too, so we're coming up into May. This is saying life is speeding up. So for a lot of us, and those that picked pile number 3, there will be a return to normalcy sometime, like within the next month or so. Your tarot card is the Star, and the Star is always my favorite card in any tarot deck, and it reminds us to hold on to hope and to keep hoping. And I just love it. And the Star illuminates the way. And to me, that would be an Aquarius symbol, because it looks like the water bearer. And but the water, it's a reflection of our emotions, and it's just saying, keep hoping, keep praying, everything will be okay. Now, the crystal card that's coming up, it's lepidolite, and it is about acceptance. And this is radical acceptance, accepting where you are right now in this moment and being okay with it. You have to get to a place of being okay. There's a good percentage of the population that, like myself, I'm totally calm, but this global disruption really hasn't changed my life that much, because I am very much a homebody hermit, and I keep to myself. So I know that sounds boring and all, but I enjoy my own company. I keep myself very busy, obviously, with this. So a lot of you do need to come to that place. And if you are struggling, I recommend that you either get professional help or, even reach out to me. You know, I'm not a licensed therapist. But I'm always available to hopefully listen and direct people. All right, so this is great. This card, the next card that's coming on top of the radical acceptance, it's Treasure Island. And I actually chose this card in the Colette Baron Reed video this week. And Treasure Island just reminds us of how abundant and prosperous we are, and that we need to be grateful for every little thing that we have, because like, we are the turtle, we are the world riding on the turtle's back. I just love that. And I've written fantasies in my mind about a story that I wanted to write about that even before I've seen this card. But this is saying that, you know, when you stay in a place of happiness and joy and gratitude, you could see the abundance and the prosperity around you, you just attract more of that to yourself. When you lower your vibration and you think of the things that you don't have, or you think of the places that you're not at, any kind of lack mentality pushes the prosperity and abundance away. I just, you know, I'm just reiterating that over and over and over again, obviously. And then your final card, it's awareness, but this is the Magician in a traditional tarot deck. This is saying that you have all of the tools to alchemize and blend and combine and put together exactly what it is that you want. Everything can work out exactly the way you want. You have everything already you need within you to make things happen. Going to go back to, no, I'm sorry. Cancel that. But anyway, this was a really great reading. Remember, you are the magician. You hold the magic in your hands. So I hope you liked your pick your own this week. I thought it was really great. Now, I did pull a crystal card for the week, and it's Emerald, and this is for all of us. And I couldn't find my raw emeralds that I have. I have them put away somewhere, don't know. Anyway, when I saw this, my first thought is heart chakra healing is needed. I do happen to have a piece of malachite. It's not translucent and beautiful crystalline like an emerald, well, like a polished emerald. If you saw the raw emeralds that I was going to bring out, they look nothing like this. They just look like a green lump. But anyway, I think any kind of green stone at this point will do wonders for all of us. It will help to clear out and open up our heart chakra. You can add pink to that, and that would help to open it up, like rose quartz. But this is the theme of the week. It's time to heal our heart chakras. And that is right there, right in the center. On April 30th, Hay House, originally owned by Louise Hay, rest in peace, will be doing their 2020 summit. There will be 90 spiritual leaders and healers offering free classes for the entire week. So I'll try and post that on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe I'll try and get a link here in YouTube. I highly recommend it. If you're at home, you have plenty of time to watch these videos, and they're free. And they run all day long. It's all different speakers talking about all different things. So check it out, hayhouse.com. What else? All right, I wanted to talk about the Pluto retrograde real quick before we go. And I took some notes on my phone. So think about, oh, before I do that, with the Pluto retrograde, I don't know if any of you know, and this might date the video, but it is rumored that the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un, has passed away. Now, either that or he's gravely ill. What's interesting is he is a Capricorn, and you know, if you've been watching me or you watch any other astrologers, there have been major upheavals in Capricorn. So Capricorn is governments, it's banking, it's big business institutions, it's that hierarchy. And interesting that he is a Capricorn. What's even more interesting is that it is assumed that his sister, I have their charts up here. His sister, I always screw up her name, Kim, what is her name? Kim Jong Un. I'm sorry, wait a second. What is her name? I apologize while I'm searching, and of course I'm not going to be able to find it because I have too many things running. But I have her chart up. So I have Kim Jong Un's chart up. Wait, let's close. I'm going to close the pick your own. Close some of these applications so that I can maybe speed things up. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So real quick, Kim Jong Un, we don't know his time of birth. So we can't get an exact chart, but what I found interesting, he has Mercury retrograde at 1 degree, which means he tells me he can't communicate. That's in Capricorn. His moon is in Pisces, maybe at 11 degrees, it depends, but 11 is integrity. Pisces, that's hidden things, keeping things hidden. The moon is emotions. So, and in integrity or out of integrity, you know. What I found interesting, so Mars is here at 28 degrees, but it's in Libra, and that really makes me question and wonder, because I would think that it would fit better in Scorpio, or maybe even at 29 degrees, and then that would net an 11. So yeah, here's his chart. And oh, also too, he has North Node in Gemini, and North Node is getting ready to enter Gemini right after next week on May 5th. So those are just some things that I noticed. Now, what I found interesting, his sister, and her name is Kim Yoon Jo, I think, Kim Yoon Jo. Here's her birth chart. We don't know her time. She was born September 26th of 88. And I brought this down to where Aries would be in the first house, like a traditional wheel, since we don't know her time of birth. She's a 3-degree Virgo, which is she's a 3-degree Libra. So that just screwed up my whole plan, because I was thinking she was a Virgo for some reason. She just missed out on it. So she's a Libra, bringing balance. Her Mercury is also in Libra, and that's at 28 degrees, about decisions and abundance. I also find interesting, Uranus is in Sagittarius. When I first did this chart, maybe if I went back a little bit, the houses shifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just looking to see like where she may be different. Now her Pluto is at 11 degrees. Now remember, Pluto is the planet of death and changes and transformations. Her Pluto is in Scorpio, so it's master right there. And if this is correct, 8th house, which is you know, the house of Scorpio and Pluto. So could she be worse than she leads up the aggregators and the workers in North Korea currently. She has been a semi-prominent figure since their father, Kim Jong Il, passed away. She took over for her brother, Kim Jong Un, several times already because his health has consistently not been well. So just so that I could read through my notes, going to go back, April 25th through October 4th will be the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So the most intensity would be with Capricorns. Go figure, because Capricorns have been getting hit. But it's also the energy of Capricorn, which is work, workers, business, finance, banking, governments, the hierarchies, you know, that climbing of the corporate ladder. That's what's all changing. Everything is changing. Now think about the North Node being in Cancer, which is the mother. It's the moon. And this whole thing just makes me think that, like, it's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day the other day. And it's like Mother Nature put us in a corner and said, now think about what you've done to me over the last 50 years, or I mean, over the last thousands of years. And so I'm watching CNN earlier because I was trying to get some information on Kim Jong Un. I don't watch the news unless it's for a purpose, like checking out the weather, or in this situation, you know, that. And I do check in on, you know, just the world for about 10 minutes every day, just to make sure there's nothing that I need to know, such as like injecting myself with Lysol or bleach, or sticking a UV light up my ass, as suggested by the United States president. But that's another story. But while I was waiting to hear the Kim Jong Un story, they were showing all over the world animals walking the streets and swimming in places that they haven't been, like the jellyfish in Venice, and little tiny fishes coming into those canals. And the water is so clear, you can see them. There were goats in Wales eating out of people's gardens and trimming their bushes, and their hedges, which was very nice. I mean, goats just roaming the streets, penguins roaming the streets. I heard of deer and bears and just the wildlife. It's almost as if they were the ones that programmed all of this so that they could get back to their lives. It made me think of the book Animal Farm, when the animals took over. So although all of this is so beautiful, and this, I believe, is, you know, that stellium that was up in Capricorn with Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, and now Saturn has broken away into Aquarius, the humanitarian, but that is about us breaking away into our individualism. Saturn will be in Aquarius for a few years, and I think there's a bigger focus first on the self and the individual before we can pull it together as a humanity. But this is about Pluto retrograde, right? Although Pluto is still making some sort of a connection with Saturn, it's also conjuncting Jupiter in Capricorn. It's opposing Cancer still, that North Node. So there's friction, there's intensity for the Capricorns. There's friction for the Cancers. Who will benefit the most? Virgos and Tauruses, because there's a beautiful trine between that Pluto retrograde and Taurus and Virgo. So think about what is in Taurus. Uranus, the change maker, the one that is helping to stir the pot and bring upheaval, you know, and make those changes where when it comes to the earth, Taurus. So it's really interesting when I watch the planets dance like this and to see their symphony play out in reality, if this even is reality. Okay. But Pluto intensifies and amplifies whatever it impacts in a transit with a volcanic force. And I'm reading from astrology.com real quick. And since we often discover psychological complexes and shadowy issues when it comes to Pluto, things from the past and underlying the surface are the things that we need to shift. So we're going to be really going in within ourselves. We're going to be taking a look at our shadow side for the next 6 months. And, excuse me. And we're going to really need to clear our mind out, deprogram ourselves, so to speak. Please, please, please try to give yourself a media diet. Yes, I post on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not running through those feeds. I don't want to see that shit. I just really don't. Make me laugh. Stop with the incessant posts about the world. Start to focus on something better. Focus on yourself for a change. Do something creative. So I'm finding that, you know, I want to spend time doing things that matter, like working around my house, working out in the garden, hanging my wash on the line. Oh my gosh, that's what I did today in this beautiful sun. Taking an art class, reading more once again. So working less. I am in no rush to go back to whatever anybody considers normal. I don't think that we will ever see that old normal again. There are a lot of people that are pushing, they want their old normal back. Maybe that's part of that acceptance, that card that came up. Accepting that we're never going to get back to that old normal. We're learning a brand new way of life. So wipe that slate clean and build a new foundation. Pluto retrograde can pull us within to face whatever unconscious material has been simmering below the surface. Pluto retrograde won't be any more disruptive than when it's moving direct. So that's good. And that's what I said. It's such a big outer planet that it really doesn't have a huge effect even when it's retrograde. However, oh, you want to pay attention. Pluto will traverse 25 back to 23 degrees. So when was it 23 degrees? That's what I would have to look at. You also want to pay attention to where is Capricorn in your chart, because that's where it will mostly be affected. Now, Mars will be going retrograde. Before I talk about that, so Pluto's going to make a second conjunction with Jupiter on June 30th. So I believe 4th of July, if you're in the United States, that could be a tumultuous time. And also too, when Mars moves into Aries, I don't like this calendar. This is not my normal Maynard calendar. I'll have to look that up and let you guys know. Mars will go retrograde in Aries. And so from August to October, that could be a very tumultuous time. A lot of upheaval, a lot of changes, endings, which would make way for new beginnings. Aries is the home. Mars is at home in Aries. And so that warrior is coming out. The rebel is coming out. People will be in an upheaval. So if we don't have some sort of normalcy, or what people consider normal, say by August, and we're all still stuck in the house, things are going to really get intense. And then they're talking about, you know, a second wave coming once flu season hits again in the fall. So we may only have a small window of whatever, and then do people even want to venture out into other areas? Let's see, what else? We're going to be consolidating our resources, which we already have. This is also contraction. It will also be necessary. Even as we seek to expand, we're still contracting, and we are paring down as to what do we really need? You know, like what are the essentials? And that's what it's really coming down to. I think it's also giving us a greater appreciation for the things that we have, because we can realize without these grand resources that we're so accustomed to, and being able to just go out to a store and get whatever we want, most of us, or even order online and have it brought to you, you know, within a few hours. Those things aren't happening. People don't have money. And so we're having to make do with a lot less. Gardening is going to be huge. I mean, I wish I could, I want to put my screen over so you could see all the seedlings that I have over there, but it's a mess. So I'll take a picture maybe and share it with you guys sometime, or give you a little walking tour of my garden. But I planted spinach and carrots today, a bunch of herbs. I already have Brussels sprouts, kale, and lettuce is growing. And then I've got a ton of stuff over there that I'm trying to harden off and get into the ground by next weekend. So grow your own food, you know. The more you can rely on yourself and be self-sufficient, the better off you are going to be. But yes, consolidate your resources. Most chaotic period I already talked about is August through October, when Mars in Aries will square Pluto twice due to shifting retrograde in September. Oh, brother. And I wanted to reschedule my vacation for September. I'm going to have to take a look at that. Mars in Aries will square Pluto, and the first time while moving direct on August 13th, and will retrograde and form a second square when Pluto stations direct on October 4th. Mars retrograde in Aries will demand setting significant change in motion as it stokes fiery friction with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. It's imperative that we utilize this time for embracing new creative directions rather than insisting that things stay the same. And I'm going to end it on that note. So if you liked this video, oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy. Yes, I'm touching my face, but I washed my hands. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Give me some thumbs up. Hopefully I can put my subscribe, hit that, and then click the bell so you get notifications when I put out new videos. And if you're still here watching, I'm going to start recording the May Tarot Scopes for all signs, starting with Taurus. So until next time, let me see, I'm going to try and see what I can see so I can turn this off. Thank you for watching. Have a great week. Bye. Nope. doesn't want to turn on.